It's showtime. Hello, Explorers.
Everybody.
We are back.
We're back from our Bon Voyage trip.
Now remember, the ending of the show is this the best cruise ever? So don't give any hints away until it's over. And I got something on my face. I got something on my face. I don't know what it is. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
I tried to do it like nonchalantly.
Yeah.
But then you just called it out. I got something on my face. Let me get it out the face.
It is February 12th. It is Wednesday. It is 5 o'clock local time, 8 o'clock Eastern. And we are excited
now that
to be
we
back.
know the day and the time and everything.
Yes, we are excited to be back. We hope you guys are excited to hear about our amazing trip. And we have it in a little bit of segments. We do have some Disney news that we want to share. We also have, we're going to discuss the 2 YouTube meetups that we did, one before the cruise and one after the cruise. I think we're going to talk a little bit about Walt Disney World first, because that was only 2 days. And then the main show that we're going to have is all about the Disney Fantasy Star Wars Day at Sea, because I know a lot of people are excited, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of questions about that.
I think you're missing something.
I am. Is it like something robotic? Do we have a new addition to the family?
There you go.
It is.
Now your Star Wars complete.
Yay!
This just makes my face look a little darker.
And
but
Chewbacca was playing with my head.
It looks better backwards. My head, I mean, not yours. Although you could spin his head around.
All right, I think it's time for a chat check, Greg, to see who's here. Chat check brought to you by
check.
More sunshine, please. More sunshine, please. We met you in Florida. That didn't really
for
work,
the second time.
Yes.
Okay, so we have, and that was Jim that we're talking about. First is Taser Travel.
Yes, who we met.
We have Danny McGlone.
Danny, New Yorker boy.
Nathan's Boat Reviews. And my mom, Mama Berthel Fisher Funventures.
Welcome, David. We
Josh
also met him.
Odom.
Josh, we met him.
Pepper Tree Villa. Alyssa Stenberg. Bob and Ashley are here. And I think we're caught up. What?
As Bob says, is that what BB-8 says?
Oh, what BB-8 says? No, that's my circus. That's when he's going haywire. He does that, yeah.
We got Cruise Addicts joining us. Welcome.
And we just want to say I hope Bob gets better. He hasn't been feeling well since I think we were hanging out with him, so he might be contagious or allergic to us. I mean. No, we didn't bring anything.
He got sick of seeing us.
No. I know stuff's going around because our friend Chris that was with us also had a fever, and he's getting better.
And I was sick.
It's not the coronavirus. It's just stuff that's going around.
But we did have a corona.
That's not a funny,
MLB Destinations.
That's not funny. That's a horrible joke.
MLB Destinations, welcome, Michelle.
Dina cruising through life. And I think we're caught up now. So first, we have to start off with a proper...
Oh, Lordy.
Dilly.
Do.
And I will probably just call this Star Wars Galactic Drink. I guess.
Red Moon.
Cheers.
Red Moon Sky.
Dilly.
Thank you, Danny. Dilly. Not bad. Not too bad.
That actually is pretty good. It's
Yeah.
a little strong. So I'll tell you what I put in it. I put in Pirates Shipwreck Vanilla Rum that we bought when we were on the Bliss. And then I put red grenadine. And I put amaretto and blackberry brandy,
wow.
I think.
A lot of sweet drinks.
And then I just mixed it in with some margarita mix.
Sylvia joined us also.
It's
welcome,
actually
Sylvia.
pretty tasty.
Dilly,
welcome,
Sylvia.
So we have a lot of fun-filled things to go over.
We're going to start it with the news. So this news segment
is
brought to you by Pepper Tree Villa. Pepper Tree Villa, where it's Christmas 365 days of the year. And our lighting just went. a little bit wackadoo?
I don't think so.
We look now. See there.
Oh, because it's adjusting itself.
Possibly.
I don't think they have their house decorated all year long.
Oh, they have it in spirit.
It might take almost all year long to take everything down. So by the time they take it down, they have to put it back up. So why even take it down?
All right, Greg. So what news do we have?
What snooze?
What snooze?
Are we putting it on snooze now?
Yes.
So I'm getting out my little news thingy here. So I know a lot of people already know that Disneyland and Walt Disney World once again are raising their prices. I know Jim was talking about it yesterday. I think it's like a $10 or $15 difference for each one, depending on what it is. And the annual passes are going up as well. I'm not going to go over all the information, like the numbers and stuff, but I heard that people are thinking that they're doing it because of the new Avengers campus that's going to be opening, and they think it's going to lower the. What'd you show?
It was just like reading.
Oh, they think it's going to lower the crowds, but it always backfires on them, and it's not going to lower the crowds. So people somehow managed to go. And then another one that you didn't know about that I just heard about today, and I'm kind of excited because this actor has been out of Hollywood since, I think, 1997. When he did, as I put that on silent, as he did Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Rick Moranis is confirmed to come back to return in a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids sequel once again, and all it's going to be called is Shrunk. So him and Josh Gad, who I think did Olaf's voice, is going to be in it, and that's all I know so far. They don't have any information on when it's going to be released or anything like that, but he has been out of Hollywood for a while. He's slowly coming back, but I'm actually really excited to have him back. So that's exciting news for me anyway. Whoever likes the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids franchise, I sure do.
Yeah, we had some people join us. The DePhilly crew, welcome. Finn O'Sullivan, Noah, the Disney World fan, 1-6. And I think I got everyone. Danny said it's Disney. People will pay no matter what the price. I think you're right. They will. The Flex Pass we got at Disneyland was $599 last year, which we thought was a great deal. That's going up $50. It's going to be $649, which I still think that is reasonable for what you get out of that Flex Pass.
We also had more Sunshine Please, Jim, coming in. So, and this just in, we just got some news showing that Pepper Tree Villa still has Christmas decorations up as they're watching our show right now on their TV.
They just sent us a picture of their stuff. I also have one news.
Oh, and Noah the Disney World fan 16 is on. You can't forget him. And the Philly crew. Disneyland
fans, those of you who want to attend the Disneyland After Dark Villains Night, it is April 30th. It is an extra cost ticket. It goes from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., which means you can also go into the parks 3 hours earlier. The park, which is at California Adventure, it's an additional $109. You can buy those tickets now because they will go quick. So a little bit about what that is. Have a devilishly good time with some misfit scoundrels and downright mischievous villains when you join us for a Disneyland After Dark After Hours party. So it's separate. Rock out on a dance floor, pose for photos by spooky layers and thrones, discover sinfully delicious snacks, ride some popular attractions, and little wait times and more. So I've never experienced something like that. I know a lot of people said they like it. They've gone to it before. Greg, you're totally messing me up.
I wish I had a remote to
so
control
buy those,
the head.
Buy those tickets if you are interested now because they will sell out fast.
How is that? They'll sell out fast. I didn't know if you guys noticed, but these are the glasses that we got. And they're plastic. But when you buy a drink from them, we did it on the Sail Away cruise. The Sail Away part of it. You actually get to keep those glasses, and they're really nice. I almost threw them out, and I said, do we get to keep them? And Derek said, yes. I said, okay. So we washed them out and everything, and they're really nice.
All right, so
They
let's
do have glass ones too.
let's
but
move
not like
on
that.
into the second segment. Mike Wheeler, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. We had meetups. We had 2 different meetups. We flew out on the 31st of January. Seems so long ago. And it was a cruise meetup. It was the ship show. And so we met up with the Klaykowskis, John Klaykowski. And we also met there Taser Travel, Show Special Feature, the Degenerate Cruisers, Fisher Funventures.
Sorry, I'm trying to
You
get comfortable here.
are having such big squirrel moments today. Tony from La Lido Loca showed up. He's now moved to Florida, and he showed up for that, which was great to meet him.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him there. That was really cool.
We met Tom Beetle Bailey, and those of you who are there, I put Pam, but it has something to do with the flamingo. I don't know if her channel name is Flamingo Pam. She doesn't do any content. It's just the name that she uses. But if you guys can put that in there to help me out. And then, of course, we had the infamous Wanda, Chiquita, Benita, Banana, Byram. It was awesome to finally meet her in person.
Banana, we add, hey, Nautical Nurse Nancy.
Yay, Nurse Nancy, welcome. So it was great to meet a lot of the cruising ones. We had dinner reservations at Chico in the Animal Kingdom Lodge, so we weren't able to get over there till about 10:30, I think.
We were helping to celebrate Chris's belated birthday, but we wanted to do something nice and special for him. Hey, Disney Nerd Herders just came in, so thank you.
Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, welcome.
Yes.
And so then on the back side of it, we were able to meet up with some Disney channels. We hung out with, more sunshine, please, Jim.
That was brought to you by D&G Explorers, where we strive to give the very best.
Exactly. We met up with Jim for More Sunshine, Please. We met up with Bob and Ashley. We had Expedition Greg. We had Jason DeYoung, which we met for the first time. We also had, I didn't write it down on here, but it was Travis from Passholder Trav is the name of his channel. And now he does mainly the Instagram. He's not as active on YouTube, but his channel is the same on all of them, the same name. We met Steve from Steve's World on the last day. And then we hung out with our friend who's a Walt Disney cast member. He helped us out a lot, and we were able to meet him. So always fun when we get to meet up with people. And I think the one thing is Jim made this comment, when you first meet up with someone, it's sometimes a little bit awkward because you feel like you know them, but then it ends so quickly because you've had chatted to people like, on this, or if they come to your channels, and that quickly dissipates. And you
already feel like you know the people. Like when we met Bob and Ashley in person, we were excited to meet them, and we knew who they were, and we already felt like we knew them for years, and it was just like meeting old friends, even though it was our first time meeting them. Same with Jim from More Sunshine, Please, and anybody else that we've actually met really from YouTube. It just feels like we have known them for a while because you talk to them, and then you finally meet up in person. So
I think cool. The one thing that's interesting is it's hard to gauge how tall someone is. Tony from La Lido Loca, he's taller than I thought he was, but it's just interesting. I'm truly 6'1". Greg is 6'8".
What? Was I stretched out or something since we got back home?
Yes.
No, I'm 6'1".
And
I wish I was 6'8".
And I'm not 6'1". Expedition Greg, who we were just talking about that we met up. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Yeah. So it was fun. Wish we could have spent more time there. We also we were trying to get some stuff.
Yeah, when we met Pepper Tree Village too, it was just like meeting, old friends. They said that they were fanboys when they met us, and it was just funny how we met because you couldn't tell the difference between Ben and Arnie at first, and I knew right off the bat who was who.
No, because Doug was hanging out with Ben, and Arnie was across the aisle, and I wasn't really paying attention, and I just assumed it was
very easy to tell them apart. For me, anyway.
It is. I agree. But
Josh Odom said Little Explorer's like 5'5". Don't let him fool you.
But with a lot of spunk. But it was good. We had a great time. We were trying to get wine to take on with the cruise with us, but by the time we went over to the marketplace where they sell it, they were already closed. So we ended up going back and having a chance to talk a little bit longer with some of the cruise meetup. So a great time to kind of speed it along because
we don't need to speed it along. We just started
we
our
got
show.
So much information that we want to share tonight, especially the cruise.
You need to slow down. You need to pull it back. And you need to enjoy the show and not feel like we're in a hurry.
Does that help?
I don't know what you're doing, but I think you need help. I don't know if that helps.
We'll talk about Walt Disney World first before we go on to the cruise, because we were only there for 2 days. Now, I have been to Walt Disney World before, both of us have. So the point wasn't really to have to see really anything. The whole point was just to hang out with people and have a good time. So we went from the cruise ship and we took the Disney shuttle, which costs $39 to go from the cruise port of Port Canaveral to the Walt Disney World property. And we stayed at Coronado Springs.
Then our friend Chris drove us to the port
at the beginning of it.
Yeah, at the beginning from the Disney
Coronado
property,
Springs, which we
all the
stayed
way out there
before, and we stayed there after.
Well, we stayed at the tower, the new tower, the first Friday, and then when we got back, we stayed at the same place, but just the regular building, which I never stayed at that place anyway, so it was no different to me.
It was nice. So we went to Epcot. That's my favorite park.
Hey, Michael Riley, welcome.
And there's so much going. There's Festival Arts, which we had never had a chance to participate in the Farts Festival. As
Festival
Bob
of the
M.
Arts,
said.
Farts. Get it?
Nurse Nancy says, "Breathe, Derek."
I know you need to inhale a little bit and then exhale.
Nurse Nancy said, "I love the photos in pirate garb." Thank you.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
We really didn't go on. We had a few fast pass. Chris was able to, as a cast member, he was able to book us some fast passes, but he can only book it a week in advance, which really, as you know, when you plan for Walt Disney World, a lot of the good ones are already taken care of. We were able to get on Frozen and Spaceship Earth at Epcot, but it was really just a chance for us to just hang out and kind of experience the festival.
I didn't think you would need a fast pass for Spaceship Earth.
But that was a long line.
It was a long line just because the park was busy because so much was closed.
Yeah, major construction going on.
Which means that other lines are going to be longer.
Next year is a 50th for Walt Disney World property. So they are doing a lot of construction to get ready for that. A lot of new attractions are coming in here. Michael Riley, we did not get to ride the Rise of Resistance. We just kept it to 2 parks, Epcot on Saturday, and on Sunday we kept it to Magic Kingdom. And we didn't really want to run all over the place, so we primarily just stayed there. And the parks were so busy, it was fine just staying in the one. And then the next day, we just kind of just hung out again. Why are you laughing?
It's okay. We all have our typos. That's all I'm gonna say. You were sick a little bit, and
I'm getting better.
Better.
Yeah, I had a sore throat on the cruise where I thought I was starting to get strep throat because every time I swallowed it hurt. And then that kind of went away by the end of the trip. But then I started getting congestion. I would have to sleep up at night so I wouldn't lay on my back and let it build up. I had to sleep up at an angle.
I didn't mention any names with that typo. I've had some bad typos at work, let me tell you.
So welcome, also Jenny H, Jack Sandy Claus Logan. Welcome, thank you for joining us tonight. And but I think our highlights was just meeting, the D23 people that we were able to meet up. We're able to meet up with them again, which was More Sunshine Please, also Bob and Ashley, and then also meeting new friends.
It was only a typo, so I'm sorry if I don't know if that was done by mistake that Jenny was put in timeout. So I apologize. I hope you come back. Sorry for that. So we had a lot of fun at Walt Disney World. We got to go, well, like you said, the first ride was Frozen. And I actually liked that ride. when Chris said we're going on Frozen, it almost sounded like he didn't want to go on it, but I actually enjoy that ride. The technology that they have and everything now, and then we actually saw Frozen on the cruise ship before we went to Walt Disney World, so that was kind of fresh in our mind and everything too. So, but there a lot of stuff was closed, and the building that they have for the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride, I really hope they do something with that, because it looks just like a regular, like, bland building. I mean, they need to have. I told Jim they need to do something like they did with the what's it called? Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
They might.
They have that all nice and decked out, and this is like okay.
Yeah, we'll see what it is like.
It was awesome meeting you, Greg, at Epcot, and we finally got to see, what was the show?
Epcot Forever.
Yeah,
which was good.
That was pretty
I like
cool.
that, because first time I visited Epcot was in 1993, and they were playing music from the rides that were in existence then. So it was cool to hear some of the old songs and revisit those. And,
hey, DisLyfeOfOurs, welcome.
Welcome, DisLyfe.
And yes, Bob, Chris should let it go. I got that.
We actually do miss the Maelstrom, but I think Frozen is a better attraction for that.
So Jack Santa Claus is going away for their Disney trip in 5 weeks. I don't know if they mean Disneyland or Walt Disney World or what they mean.
I think it's Walt Disney World. All right, so let's move on to the cruise, because I know a lot of people are interested in the Star Wars Day at Sea. So
well, you totally talked about Epcot, but you didn't talk about Magic Kingdom or anything like that.
I did.
What'd you say?
I just said we just kind of hung out and didn't just relax and enjoyed each other's company.
No, we went on rides. We went on Thunder Mountain, was our last one that we went on at nighttime, which actually is probably our second favorite. Thunder Mountain,
Space Mountain,
and then Space Mountain we went on also. That was really cool.
We gave up on Pirates. Yeah,
we were in line for Pirates, and poor Ashley, she was starting to get like a claustrophobic feeling, because that's how I get also when we're in the Skyline thing. I totally got claustrophobic in that. But
we did ride the Skyline. That's
right.
But
I freaked out. But it was fun. But we did have to leave Pirates just because the lines were way too long. And then when we were leaving, people were saying, "Why are you walking back?" And I'm just thinking, did you see the line? Are you moving? We're waiting here. So, but it was a lot of fun. So, and we got to be on Bob and Ashley's show live
show
for the first time ever. So that was awesome.
In person.
Yes, in person.
Cool. Actually, I thought we did it in Disneyland. They filmed a parade, and we were there.
I don't know. Well, it was the first time on their turf anyway.
There you go. All right. Are we ready for the cruise now?
I guess we're ready for the cruise now.
All right. So the Suhek binder. I think what we'll do is we'll talk about it by day and activity, and from lunch to breakfast. So what we ate.
Good Lord.
Okay. We won't go that into detail. We'll spare you guys that. But to use this as a guide, just so we make sure we hit everything, we got into our...
And Bob said you are right, Derick, about us being on their show in Disneyland. But it was our first time at Disney World, so I'm right too.
Squirrel moment. That's 5.
That's a good squirrel moment.
Brought to you by...
It's not a squirrel moment. It's just information. Calm yourself down.
All right. So we landed it. We stayed at Disney property, and our friend Chris took us to the cruise port in Port Canaveral, and our time was 10:45 to 11 for check-in, and I think we got in about 10:30. Just one thing as a heads up: if you go into Port Canaveral, the one thing to consider is there's a long line for the drop-off. We were dropped off, and remember and that was what Chris's concern was. He wasn't a concern us getting to the port. It was a concern of us going through drop off for us to be able to get our luggage dropped off. So kind of put that into your time. We left about 9.
Yes, hashtag Disney World, Jim.
We left about 9. We went and got breakfast at Wawa. That's such an interesting name, wasn't it? Wawa. We had the breakfast sandwiches. Yeah, Wawa.
I don't remember.
I think it's called Wawa.
Oh wait, okay. When we stopped at the gas station, you
Yeah,
mean? And then we went to the wine place afterwards.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Wawa was
I don't remember the names.
But we still got on to the ship. We probably got into the port. Security we went fast through it. Disney does it differently than Norwegian. There is like one line, and if you're a silver one, or if you're first cruise, and you have a humongously long line that snakes, but they have like 20 to 25 to 30 tellers that you go up to, and the line was like that. We were in boarding group number 6, I believe.
I don't remember that.
I think it was number 6. So we were on ship pretty early. By 11:30, I would say we were on to the ship.
Well, MLB Destination said, wow, usually I never have a wait to drop off luggage. Well, no, this was a wait to get out of the car.
For them to drop us
put
off.
The luggage, yeah, for him to even drop us off and get the luggage out. I mean, there was a line way back to even get into where we needed to go. But thank you, Nautical Nurse Nancy. Have a nice night.
Thank you for joining us. Yes.
See, she says supper also. I call it supper and dinner. So this cruise was really exciting for us. It was really special. This was the cruise ship that we've been waiting to go on, the Disney Fantasy. It was also the Star Wars Disney Day at Sea 2020. So we got these shirts. So at the end, we did a lot of our what?
Just follow Derick. He'll get you on the ship.
We got a lot of our souvenirs kind of towards the end. A couple of things in the beginning, just because we didn't want to run out of them or have them run out of them. But it was pretty cool. And DisLyfeOfOurs said they had boarding group 37.
Wow!
But you're right, it goes by really fast.
I think what takes long is when you get your photos, because that was the longer line. It
was like photos galore throughout the whole cruise. I mean, we did the Star Wars photo, and you really can't even see this, but
you're gonna knock all the things down. They're fine.
Okay, well, we'll post it, but maybe if there's a zoom or something. Here, let me see.
You're not going to be able to see.
You can see a little bit, but that's our picture, Star Wars, and then the ship, and it'll be on the Facebook also. But it was a lot of fun, and we got this. We actually walked into our room, and we got the Star Wars banner.
Our friends,
our friends Mike and David. They had the Star Wars magnets hanging from the ceiling. They had a Star Wars throw, a Star Wars pillow. So it was really decked out for Star Wars, and we really appreciate it. And then we also got
not just one
but two $50 credits.
Stateroom credits from.
Well, one was from Rachel and June, and then one was under their YouTube, DisLyfeOfOurs. So that really helped out too. And thank you very much for that.
Both from DisLyfeOfOurs from Rachel and June. So thank you guys so much. That is so awesome of you guys to do that.
Yeah, so it made it very, a lot more special. The whole trip was very special. We didn't end up doing the dolphin thing, and that's actually kind of funny because we thought we could cancel the dolphin excursion because we were going to save money, and it kind of backfired on us because they said that you have to cancel it, I think, 3 days before the cruise. So they said you could get another excursion in place of it. So we said, okay, well, we'll decide to do the banana boat at Castaway Cay, which was $40 each. So then Castaway Cay came up, and then that got canceled because of the weather. It was very windy. So we actually saved all of our money because we didn't do any of that. So
we put the other money to good use.
Yes.
So the second day we had was a sea day. The second day we had was a sea day, and we changed on our first day. We had reservations for a Remy brunch, and we, as a got closer to the cruise, we decided we didn't want to do a Remy brunch. We wanted to do a Palo.
Hey, Steve's
brunch.
World, welcome.
Welcome, Steve. We wanted to do a Palo brunch. So these are 2 specialty dining experiences that you can pay for
him too.
on a Disney cruise. So Palo is an additional $40 for lunch and dinner. Remy is $75 additional for brunch and $120 additional for dinner. One is Italian, which is Palo. Palo. And the French one is Remy. The Remy is a fine dining experience with little tiny.
Yeah, it's like more
culinary
decoration and experience
Yes.
than it is the actual food. Like when you're done eating, you're like, I'm so hungry. Where's the meat and potatoes kind of thing?
So we were able on the first day to change it, and we ended up going to Palo brunch, which we did on the first day.
It is per person.
And it was amazing as always. Try different things, caviar, you have smoked meats, you have tons, you name it. There's salad stuff, there's seafood stuff, and desserts.
I had caviar that was like red eggs, and I think it was salmon eggs or something, and I popped one and it felt like popping a zit in your mouth or something.
That was a salmon egg.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But
and
you got that for dinner at Palo.
And just the taste of it was disgusting. I was
Very salty.
Like, oh, I had to spit it out. It was gross. But we did have escargot every night except the first night because they had to get it ready for us, and then except for Palo night also. But they gave us escargot all the other nights, and that was really good.
Hit that like button. Thank you so much, Disney Nerd Herders.
I know, Josh. Oh, yuck. It's gross.
On the second day also was the Sunday, and that was a Super Bowl. First time we had a chance to experience the Super Bowl on a ship. And we watched about a minute.
We didn't miss much.
30 seconds of it. That was all we had time for. Because when we went to the show, because we wanted to watch the Aladdin show, which started at 6, it ended about 7:15. We went up to the top deck where it was showing on the funnel vision, and the teams were walking off for halftime. And we're like, really? So we didn't get to see any of the game then. And then we went downstairs. Our dinner was at 8:15. And by the time dinner was over and we went back up on deck, the game was like a minute, 30 seconds left. And the Chiefs just picked off the last Niners pass to basically seal the game. So that was our experience.
I'm happy that they won
with the Super Bowl, but it was still kind of cool to experience it.
You look up and you see the stars out in the sky and you see the moon, and then you look in front of you and you see the game.
Now, I will tell you, if Buffalo was in the Super Bowl, I wouldn't have gone to no show. I wouldn't have gone to dinner. I would have had a room service brought to the pool deck, and they would have taken care of me.
I don't think it works that way. You can't have room service brought to the pool deck because that'd be called pool deck service.
Welcome, Christie's Corner. Thank you.
Unless you bring your room service from your room to the pool deck, then you could do that.
No, the one thing I found interesting, you guys, we didn't buy any internet package. I had it in the Wi-Fi mode for to access the ship's apps, because that way you can look at the dinner menu, you can find out what activities are going on, you can highlight it, it'll remind you any plans that you have booked, it'll pop up on your screen. Your dinner plans, it'll pop up, but you have to put it in, obviously you have to put it in airplane mode. I started receiving texts, and I was getting them on Sunday, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, am I in the ship mode or airplane mode? But I was. But since I have an iPhone, iMessage works through the Disney app. So our friends who had the iPhones, I was pretty much chatting with them.
It didn't work. It didn't work all the time. Yeah, I know.
Wanda, Chiquita Bonita, Banana Bonita.
It didn't work all the time. Some people's it would show it didn't go through, but then they actually got it. We had really cool dinner mates for our cruise, Michael and Jaime, and we were first brought to the wrong table, and then they showed us the right table because of me. He told the lady, and then they were being brought to the wrong table, and then they were looking at us. I'm like, are they supposed to sit with us? And then they started walking over to us. I'm like, okay, I guess they're sitting with us. And they're really cool people. They were probably one of the most fun dinner mates that we've had for any of our cruises. It was like
we did so much stuff. We had so much in common.
It was like serendipity, really. It just, we ordered the same things at times without knowing. We had a Palo dinner at the same night, same time, same place, Palo. And then we also, you were looking for them in the theater, and you said, oh, let's just sit here. So we sat there, and we turned, and it was like, oh, there you guys are. We were looking for you. So it was just like,
it was funny.
The stars were aligning type of a thing. It was funny, and we had a lot in common. And we're definitely keeping in touch with them. But it was a lot of fun, and that's the kind of dinner mates that you want to have on a cruise.
And Disney does a good job matching.
Yeah,
with
it was a lot of fun.
Day 3, we went to Cozumel, Mexico. So a couple of things that was interesting for me. We had never. Most of these ports, with the exception of Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island, we had never been to before. So we've never gone to the Western Caribbean. So Cozumel, Georgetown, Grand Cayman, and Falmouth, Jamaica were all new to us. And it's always fun when you experience something for the first time. But Cozumel, we had to meet in the theater, and they basically, they sat us by group. And when it was our group number, which we were 5, they basically corralled everyone out to where the ferry boats were. They put us on the ferry boat, but or actually we got into they put us into the ferry boat. But when we docked, it's about a 45-minute ferry ride from Cozumel, because it's an island. It's not a main land port.
That was an experience in itself.
And people were getting sick, which Tazo Travel had warned us to make sure that you take Dramamine. We were on a faster one too, so it only took like 32 minutes for us to go across the little area. But it was Playa del Carmen is where we landed at. When we got off, it was a little bit hectic because there was no one directing us. And as a group, luckily, we would look for like number 5. We kind of just kept walking, and then there was a different Disney excursion. They would just say, oh, 5, just keep walking. We kept on walking. We walked out a little cruise port area. We kept walking. Someone said, oh, keep going up the hill. We're like thinking, where are we going? And then we finally found our person. We did the Chichen Itza tour, which was $169. And we had about maybe a 5-minute walk after the guy found us. And there was 14 of us that took a little van, like a minivan, an air-conditioned minivan. It looked like a coach, but it was a lot smaller version of it. There was no bathroom on that. So what we got when we went up to there, there's restrooms there that we were able to use before we went on the bus. But we also had kind of like a picnic lunch. So we had like a ham and cheese sandwich. We had like potato chips, an apple, a granola bar. They gave us water, and
the water was about that big and that round. It was probably up to here. So you probably got maybe 5 gulps out of it.
But then from there, we had a 2-hour bus ride to Chichen Itza. So you figure already we spent about 3 hours just from travel time from us leaving the cruise ship.
Haven't seen the pyramids yet at this point.
We got there, and we had about an hour and 15 minutes. But after, the cool thing that I liked is on the way there, our the guy who's, I guess, the tourist lead guide, I didn't expect that. I thought we were just going to be dropped off. We walk around on our own, but that wasn't the case. He actually was our guide. So he explained a lot of things in the 2-hour drive up there, which really made it fascinating about.
And we had
an
iPad with information too.
Yeah, with pictures and a little demo that what is it? It was, I can't even think of it, but it was a little.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, the thing that we were watching.
It was an iPad.
Yeah, but it was the whole thing that showed the different pictures, and I can't think of what I'm trying to say, but it was a good little segment to get up in there. And when we went there, we were able to witness some of the things that he had talked about, because it's they recommended it takes about 4 hours to truly see the pyramids. We had basically an hour. So once we got there, it was kind of funny because I forgot to warn Greg that you'll be basically accosted by the habitants there. So he walks off and they give him a hat, and Greg grabs a hat and he looks at it and he goes, "Free?" And the guy
I didn't
goes,
say it like that.
Yeah, he did.
Free?
I said, no. I said, no, Greg. I said, just give it back to him and just say no. And then Greg like walked away because he kind of
and they still followed me because they thought I was easy prey, and I wasn't.
Yeah, and I said nope. But our guide went and bought our tickets, which we got to use the restrooms again. And then because I was using the phone with a tripod, I had to pay an additional $5. So I let him know beforehand that I was using it. Otherwise, it might have messed things up a little bit.
We have to stop you for a moment because Disney Nerdhers is asking, did we forget the Spotlight channel?
We did. Thank you. And I even forgot my Spotlight channel. It's still in my bag.
Oh, I thought you meant you didn't have a Spotlight channel because you never tell me who it is. So
well, I put it on there. You just didn't read the notes.
But thank you, Disney Nerdhers, for reminding Derick as you blind everybody with the light from the phone.
Spotlight channel brought to you by
D&G Explorers.
No. Spotlight channel brought to you by Bob and Ashley. Bob and Ashley, treating every day like it's a gift. Ba-dum-bum. All right. So we have...
Or they say, don't waste a day. Every day is a gift.
Exactly. So let me share the screen here for you. So we actually met this channel up on our...
Bob said, dang right.
On our cruise meetup. And it is Fisher Funventures. So
awesome.
yeah, so there is other things that on, and this is one of the cool things. I love it when the different channels do this, but this is a spot on Facebook. And David, if you, I believe you're still in the chat, but if you're there, if you can put your Facebook page in there for people to join, this is a great site for channels to be able to post their videos on what they have going on. Now we have several doing that. So as I'm saying that, anyone who's a creator in there, please definitely put that you're a creator. If you have a outlet for people to post their videos, I know Bob and Ashley do, but if there's other ones, like there's Nautical Nurse Nancy, you can go down the list of the different ones. But if you're in here, please give you guys a shout out, and so people can help post their videos on it. So and I believe you've just, if I can read that right, I believe you just went over 500. Yes, you just went over 500 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to them. They do have some great videos, and it was great to finally meet them in person. So so subscribe.
See, Mom likes my hat backwards. This is really how I think you're supposed to wear it anyway, because that's how I wore it on the trip most of the time.
All right. So thanks again, Disney Nerd Herders. So Chichen Itza, it's one of the places I have always wanted to go. It was...
I never heard of it until you brought it up, but I'm glad that we went.
I've always been fascinated
awesome.
with pyramids, the Mayan pyramids. Teotihuacan, the Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico, is always one of the ones that I wanted to go to. And they have another one. I think it's Tamol.
Kelly Starwalker, welcome.
Welcome. They have a couple
Sounds
of
like Skywalker.
They have a couple of different pyramids that you can go to. This one, since 2006, you can't walk up the steps. You can't go inside, and they do that to protect it, which I understand.
They did have a wooden door where they used to be able to go in, but you can't go in anymore.
Yeah.
They had some huge, giant iguanas, too. Like, probably about that long. But there were pretty big iguanas out there.
But we went to the big temple, which was, it's named after
Hey, Ben,
snake.
welcome.
Welcome, Ben. Kelly Haston, welcome. We went to the main pyramid, and it was named after a snake. because at certain times of the year, when you look at
Oh
it,
yeah.
it'll give like the spines of the rattlesnake up,
Mm.
going up along the wall, and I can't think of
I
the
thought
name
that
of
was just the every day with the sun. It
Mhm.
has the triangles
I thought
going up.
it might be, but I thought it was at a certain time of the year. They showed another thing where they felt like they had markets. It was called 1,000 pylon or poles or something. And like Diego, who was our guide, he said it was actually 997, I think is what he counted. There wasn't 1,000. And then we went to the largest ball court in I think all of the Americas.
That was sad and gruesome, though. Why they had it?
And what they apparently say is the winner, the captain of the winning team that won, he was beheaded because it was an honor for them to be sacrificed as a.
So you always want to lose.
So
you never want to win.
So suddenly, I don't feel so bad that the Buffalo Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
We were actually on hallowed ground because they had one area that on the side of the wall you could see skulls, and they actually said when it was a high wall area, and when you look over there's grass, but when they dug in there were a lot of skulls there, so they think that's where they actually put the heads at some point. It's a very morbid subject. I'm sorry. We'll move on to happy things now.
Well, that was part of the Mayan culture and all the different gods. We got back after the time we were supposed to, but
yeah, our time window was very short.
Yeah, we couldn't shop in Cozumel after we got off the bus. He walked us to the ferry boat.
We had like 10 minutes to shop.
Yeah, and what was cool is that we got to bypass everything. We got to bypass security. Diego just basically said, "Follow us" or "Follow me," and he took us to specifically what ferry boat we were assigned to.
Like, go Diego, go!
Yeah, so that was really cool. I felt the $169 was definitely worth it, and I would recommend it.
I would recommend it. I probably wouldn't do it again unless it was a very long time away, because it was just so much money, and really you kind of see what you need to see.
Yeah. Our next town was Georgetown, and that was where Greg had said that Georgetown Grand Cayman. That was where Greg and I had scheduled up for the dolphin swim experience that we canceled. So as a warning, before you go on a cruise 3 days before, if you have an excursion, you have to get rid of it then. I thought I could do it within 24 hours, so I was a little shocked.
But it all worked out because we got all of our money back anyway.
We did.
It got canceled at Castaway Cay. I don't even remember what we did at the Grand Caymans.
We well, that's a port where you have to tender in. So those of you who don't know what tendering means.
Oh yeah, we just walked around and
yes.
with that girl Lisa. She was by herself, so we asked her to join us, and we all walked around. I have her name, but I tried looking her up, and I can't find her on Facebook.
I found it.
Oh, you found her?
Yeah. Okay. So tendering is the ship can't dock up to a dock because it's not deep enough. So we have to stay off shore, and they run third party. In this case, it was third-party ferry boats, which went back and forth from. It's like a 5-minute ferry boat ride from the ship to the port.
They weren't the best smelling, at least as far as smelling the gas and stuff. We've been on better smelling ones where you're actually outside, but
we have RobFuz here. Welcome, RobFuz.
Hey, RobFuz.
We have Cargo.
Welcome.
Cargo. We will, and we have shirts. We did wear your shirts. So Cargo made us some awesome shirts. So we will have those. In fact, next week, Cargo.
We wore these because we're trying to show what we got for Star Wars A Day at Sea. So thank you very much.
We will give you some love, definitely.
We did wear them on our vlogs, though.
Yes. So we will show you. Definitely will be showing that.
Why are you playing with the pages?
Because I'm raring to go.
You should be smelling the pages. Oh, wait, they're plastic.
Yeah, they're plastic. And we just, as Greg said, we were in another holding area because we had to wait to be able to get cleared onto a ferry boat.
Make it sound like we're cattle. Put them in the holding area.
That's basically kind of what you're doing. You meet at the theater, they group you by numbers, and then they kind of usher you out into the next ferry boat, or tender boat, which is waiting. And she was a little bit nervous, asking questions. Which ferry boat do we take back? Do we know where we're going?
Who was nervous?
Lisa, the one that we met.
I don't think
so. While we were on the ferry boat, we asked her if she would like to hang out with us, and we just said we're just really going to be walking around. We're going to be shopping.
And that's what she did.
And that's what she did. So
we waited for her. She waited for us.
Yeah.
You know, when we were all looking around and shopping, we weren't making each other feel like we were rushed or anything.
Yeah, so it was cool too.
And also, it was like we knew her for, you know, this stranger that you let walk with you, and she was perfectly nice and everything. And then we saw her later at Castaway Cay, and she kind of sat right across from us at lunch.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, but we talked to her a little bit then too.
And then the next day, which was day 5.
I told him to stop counting on the videos too, because it makes it go by too fast.
We were in Falmouth, Jamaica. We had no plans, so we were in no rush. Now, the unique thing about Falmouth, Jamaica is when the ship, they created this port specifically for ships to dock, and there is, it's protected. So there's some shops you can do. It's not a huge area, but we did vlog it. There's enough shops to go into. There's probably, would you say, about 30 to 40 shops that you can possibly go into, small little ones. A lot of them sell the same different things.
Restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, they have a Margaritaville. They have a Starbucks. They have
thank you, Cargo.
The Blue Mountain coffee, which is unique to Jamaica, which is supposed to be good. Which actually I bought a roasted or a bag, so we'll have to try that.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Tortuga rum shop, which one thing that is unique to it, they have Tortuga rum fruitcake. So the fruitcake, because it's Jamaica, it's more like the English fruitcake.
I don't really like
which is
fruit
not
cake,
like the American fruitcake.
but we'll see how it tastes.
Yes, American fruitcake has a lot more fruit in it. It's a lot more sickly to me. The English one is more breaded.
We're gonna eat cake.
There's less fruit in an English fruitcake. So they told me it's more like the English one. But if I would have probably said, is this more like the American fruitcake than the English one? They probably would have said yes to that too. But we'll find out, because
then I wouldn't have bought it.
It's rum.
It's sickly. You said it was sickly.
If it's an American one, yes. So we had a couple things we wanted to try in Jamaica. Was a beef patty, and I was thinking it was a burger for some reason.
I took one bite and let him have the rest.
It's a deep fried beef patty. It kind of looks like an empanada, but it's not. But it's deep fried, and I really like it. It's almost like a deep fried burrito. Beef burrito is probably the best way, but it's thinner. And then we did have the Blue Mountain coffee. I had just basically coffee with the cream, and Greg had an iced coffee with that.
Oh yeah, that was the one where you could actually eat the sugar, because you were like chomping on granules of sugar. It had that much sugar in it, so that was weird. We
and then the wind came. There was never really a day on this cruise that it was like sweating hot.
Except when we ran the 5K, that was a little much.
That's probably because we were out of shape,
but it was
2 belugas running down there trying to get exercise.
There weren't 2 belugas. I'm not a beluga. You're not a beluga either. But there was a nice breeze, so it kept us a little cool. But yes, we did vow to each other to start going to the gym more and get into better shape, which we plan to, because after yesterday when I weighed myself, which I'm not going to say, but yes, I need to get on that ASAP.
We all do. By the end of the day, Falmouth, the wind was insane. So we didn't plan to be out there that long.
Anyway. I didn't want to go past the border anyway, that big border fence thing.
Yeah. So we got on the ship and we filmed it, but we were at the very front, which is the adult over 18 area. And that wind was just like a hurricane. And they actually had a Dizney cast member come up and blocked it off and made everyone.
I was out there. I was out there at the very front, enjoying the wind, just thinking and letting my mind go. And I hear, "Excuse me, sir." And I opened my eyes, and he was right there saying, "We have to have you come over here because it's too windy, blah, blah, blah." So they had to rope it off and everything.
Steve, do you guys have a show coming up tonight at for this and that in 5 minutes? He's on here late. So the next day, we also had Pablo dinner that night, which was Greg started ordering all this stuff, and I'm looking at him like saying, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Do you realize how much food you just ordered?"
Well, do you realize we're paying, what is it, $40 for whatever you want to eat? And actually, I think we did pretty good with what we ordered because we ate every bit of it.
You did.
Plus dessert.
Yes.
And we were
You
fine.
made me proud, and that's where we gained our extra weight. We gained 10 pounds. I'll be honest. I was 152 pounds. I was 152 pounds in September when we went on the escape cruise. I didn't weigh myself after that because our scales stopped.
How much were you?
152. I weighed myself yesterday after dinner in the evening. I was 167. So from September to now, I gained 15 pounds.
Yes, Steve does have a show tonight.
So, well, thank you, Steve, for being on so late.
Yeah, thank you. We did have a sea day, which was my favorite time, really, are the sea days.
And what was that sea day, Greg?
It was Star Wars, A Day at Sea.
So
we did forget our Pirates Night also. We did do Pirates Night.
That was in Cozumel.
Yeah, that was pretty fun too.
Yeah.
So we can't forget about that.
They didn't have
all new.
They didn't have a special menu for that because normally they'll have a Pirates menu, but they did have a firework.
A firework?
Firework? Hey, that works. A firework. I can't even say it.
A fireworks show
for pirates. And I realized they have two shows. They have the first showing, which is themed around Mickey Mouse,
but it's only one fireworks show.
One fireworks show, and that's between, it's between the first dinner and the second dinner. They have the Mickey Mouse show.
Thank you, MLB Destinations. Have a good night.
Thank you. And then the second time they do it after the second seating, because we had the second dinner seating, they have Jack Sparrow. And they also have the fireworks at that point. So they actually have two different shows on a pirate night.
And the Star Wars Day has fireworks at night also.
So this was in our room. These are the different galactic experiences that you can experience. So to just without going into too much detail, Star Wars Superfan Contest. There was a Star Wars costume celebration. And I will say some of those costumes that the people were wearing, we were waiting to take a picture with some guy. We thought he was a Jedi pilot.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't. He was just a normal guy.
Well,
and
he was a Jedi pilot. We thought he was a cast member, and he wasn't.
Yes.
So, but, that was the one where a little boy went up to him and said, I think he said, "Are you Luke Skywalker?" And he said, "Yes." And he said, "Just to let you know, you're in danger."
That was cute.
The guy said that they were the lady that told us about it said that they were just laughing and they thought it was so cute and they played along with the boy. So that was funny.
They also had a galactic dance party. They had Summon the Force, Padawan Mind Challenge, Star Wars 101, Jedi Training, Trials of the Temple, Porgs on Board Scavenger Hunt, which we wanted to do, but we never did. Star Wars Day at Sea Drawing Academy, Celebrate the Saga. They had Star Wars at Light Speed.
We saw like a little bit of that.
The 4, 5, and 6 episodes
within
done
20 minutes.
In 20 minutes. And it was actors that were doing like some cheesy stuff, but it was actually pretty funny.
And then your favorite
BB-8 races. They had little droid races.
We actually saw that from like floor 3. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So some of the things they do throughout the morning, they have different Star Wars characters go from the main decks were 3, 4, and 5. So you would have characters go through those different levels, and then they also would go up to the pool deck, which was deck 11. So you would see them different ones. So we found that we were just staying in one spot, but we started going to different levels once we realized they were moving around. So we got pictures with the stormtroopers. Another one, which I have no idea what he looked like. He looked like some kind of big lizard guy.
It was like a pig guy from Return of the Jedi. When they're in the cantina, he gets eaten by the big monster that Luke Skywalker has to fight. I forgot the name of them. I'm sure Bob knows who I'm talking about.
I'm not sure. Oh, I'll look at her. She wants to make this a pirate shirt.
Oh,
Thank you,
thank
Cargo.
you.
That's so
That'd be
nice.
awesome.
And then we just some other ones. Some characters we weren't familiar with. We weren't sure who they were, and we found out they were actually because they showed up in the show later on. We realized they were actually Star Wars characters in it. But we probably saw about 6 or 7 different characters.
There was that one girl character that wouldn't talk, and she asked for our passes.
Yeah, we got pictures on that.
And I think I said, I hope I get that back. And she gave it back after. And she went like this. I said, yeah, I see you too.
That was a fun day.
She walked away and I did it back to her again.
Star Wars Day is a better day than a Pirates Day.
And they played Star Wars music throughout the whole day. They had droids that would make announcements and stuff. It was really cool. It was all day long.
Terry W., welcome. And
Welcome.
He said the Ranker. So good job. That's who that character
was.
was.
The pig guy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So I actually enjoyed Star Wars Day probably than any theme day that we've had a chance to experience.
Yeah.
On a Disney
we've
show.
done Pirates 3 times now.
And it's fun.
Yeah, but this was really different.
The whole day is featured around it. And we never had a chance. We never filmed it right. But there's 2 horns that the ship will do. One was a dun 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 dun. Wait, am I doing it right?
That's not Star Wars. That's like that's another morbid song.
Oh my god. Anyway, there's 2 songs that they do. The ship's horn does.
It's
And
the
I
main
never
Star
filmed it.
Wars themes.
That was terrible, wasn't it? Start coughing and laughing. And then they had a special themed dinner with a dinner menu that was really cool. They had like really cool menus,
Different names on their
of them,
menus
different exotic drinks
that are Star Wars themed.
And then we were that night. They didn't have a show. I think Greg already said this. We had
Well, they had the fireworks show.
they had a fireworks show, but they showed Star Wars movies in where they normally would have a theater show. They showed it in that theater, which is where we watched the last Star Wars movie.
Yeah, we saw the Rise of Skywalker there. We've already seen it, but it was cool to watch it on the ship again.
Yeah, it was.
And it was only our second time watching it.
We did. I think that's probably the day that I actually had the most video footage and pictures were from the Star Wars Day at Sea. So that was really cool. And then
we saw Aladdin, the stage show. We saw Frozen, the stage show. We missed the Believe stage show. It was like a recap of the whole cruise and everything, but that's fine. Their Aladdin was a lot like the one at California Adventures in a lot of ways, and probably the one on Broadway too, but it was still fun.
The at the very first night, they had technical problems with the show. It's kind of an introduction. They do like a show, and they kind of feature different highlights of the show, of the ship. So they'll talk about the aqueduct. They'll talk about different things. It's almost like an infomercial, what they do, but they're just kind of doing it in a fun way where they show you the different things that are featured on the ship. And they had like a big act, and all of a sudden the music cut out. And I will tell you, those guys did not miss a beat.
They sang a cappella.
Yep. And they just like all of them are coming out, and they're like, whoa, and you would expect where the music would be blaring and everything's building up, and here they are singing their hearts out.
Yeah.
And we're like thinking, oh, that was good. And I was thinking, did something happen there?
And then that one girl with the inner tube, she was just
like
going
she was
like
on the aqueduct.
Yeah, and she still did it all the way until they just shut the lights down and said due to technical difficulties. So then she walked off the stage. And but she said it has never happened before. We actually talked with them a little bit on Castaway Cay. They were sitting on the left side of us at lunchtime.
The guy who played they use all the same actors in the different shows, but the guy who played Aladdin,
he was also the bad
tall guy.
He was the bad guy in Frozen. Yeah, he was a tall Aladdin.
The guy who played Sven. And then also the lady who was in the inner tube.
Hey, Mary Ellen Shaw.
They were all eating next to us. And so we just said, gave them compliments because that was impressive. They did not miss a beat. That's a good performer when they did it. And especially
didn't want to bother
that never happened
too long, though.
Yeah. Oh, welcome, Mary Ellen. Then we went to Castaway Cay. And why, oh, why did we try to run Look Out for Your Fleet? Because you're making that move. We decided to run a 5K.
I liked it, actually.
Probably hadn't ran since the NCL Escape Cruise in September. And I think I'm still paying for it, unfortunately.
Well, they gave out rubbers after, they gave out rubber trophies, medals, whatever you call them. They weren't made out of metal, they were made out of rubber, but they gave us medals made out of rubber at the end, and they were nice enough.
Yeah, it's free. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, so it wasn't like the nice ones that we got from Paris, but...
No. But we did it. I mean, we tried to run and we walked. Terry W asked, is tip included on Disney cruise? I see some vlogs where they leave an envelope for you to leave tips for the room attendant. Whether you prepay your tips or you don't prepay the tips, they will give you, I saw it. They will give you an envelope. So if you prepaid, it's, I believe, one color, if I remember right, because our friends had prepaid. We prepaid and our friends didn't on the previous cruise, and they were in different colored paper. But no matter what, they will give you an envelope that will have like host, assistant server. There's 4 of them that you get. You get them in your room, and you put them. So it's already predetermined how much they're going to get, and you put them in an envelope, and you either leave one for your stateroom host, and then when it's the last night, you give them to the it's the head, the one in charge of them, the entire room. I think they do it in sections, because I think they have a couple of high level ones, but every one they'll come over, they'll talk to you, they'll make sure that your dinner's going good. They're not your main server, but they just want to make sure things are going. They'll let you know like what's going on the next day, what what are our plans. So you give them basically a tip too. So they are,
hey, the Orlando guy, welcome.
That's how they determine the tips. So you will always get an envelope to give them something.
We did also use their laundry services, so you could do your laundry. We did it like in the middle of the week, almost of the month, but the week. If you have anything that you need to wash. Also, they have the ironing boards that you could use at no cost. You don't use water. Not in the iron, but you spray the water onto your clothes, and then they have a timer that you turn on the wall, and it turns on the iron, and you can iron your clothes that way. So I think it was like $3 to do a load of wash, and then I think it was $3 for the dryer too, wasn't it?
It was
3 and 3.
Yeah. So what you do is you might have said this. Sorry, I was looking at the comments. So what you do is with your room, your keys to the world card, there's a screen, and you go into, every deck has a laundry. So you see if on the screen it'll tell you if there's any available in that room. If it's not, it scrolls what deck has dryers and washing machines available. So you have to purchase tokens, and you do that by touching it with your keys to the kingdom or keys to the world card. And then it was like $3, like Greg said, $3 for the dryer, $3 for a wash. And then if you wanted to get like a detergent or something else like that, it was an additional $1. The one thing that happened to us is when we took our clothes out of the washer and we put them into the dryer, I activated the dryer that was above me that said it was available. When I opened it up, someone's clothes was in there. They didn't take them out.
So he paid for someone's clothes.
I didn't really want to take their clothes out and just leave it on a table, because I felt, I'm thinking, well, what would they try to open mine and then mess up our time? So I left it in there, and I bought another $3 worth. But what I did is I went down to guest services. I told them what happened, and they took that $3 off for it. So
you were doing a good deed, but he had to get that $3 back.
Well, if we didn't use it, why not? That's a drink.
Oh, drink. Wow. Oh, yeah. Drink. Speaking of drinks, dilly, but you haven't been drinking. Derick and I did a mixology class, and we both got to make a drink for everybody in the room. So I did muddled berries. I think it was raspberry and blueberry, and it was a certain kind of vodka, and they said 6 seconds worth of pouring vodka. So I had to pour the vodka and count to 6. You can imagine how much vodka
4.
that was.
It's 4.
No, it was 6 because when I ordered it,
He did 12.
they gave me 12. When I actually paid for a drink, they gave me 12 seconds worth of vodka. So you can imagine even how much stronger that was. So that's why we like to go. It was called the Skyline Lounge, and it was in the back of the boat. It was an awesome area that you go through these winding, cavernous looking halls, and it's a really dark lounge, and the pictures change to what?
Mary Ellen, it is right. It is half a drink.
You see these pictures that change at nighttime. It's really cool. So it's a really dark, lightly lit lounge. And we liked going there because they were heavy-handed. The guy would pour heavy hands of alcohol, which would make them stronger. So, and then what did you make?
I have no idea what I made, but I didn't like it as much as I like Greg's. But our friend said that he had that the night before in the lounge, and it tasted just like the waiters, or the bartenders. So apparently, I made it the way that it's supposed to be done. But that one had a lot of alcohol that I put in.
Yeah.
What else? Castaway Key. It started to get bad weather, so we didn't stay there that long. After the run, we went back on the ship. We took showers. Actually, we didn't take showers because we were going to go swimming. We went back onto the island. We had a great buffet at the adults only area. And then we were just about to walk onto the island, to the adult beach, and it started to pour. So we just changed our plans and we went back onto the ship.
It didn't change scenery every 15 minutes.
I think it's less than that.
It was like
every 5 minutes.
Every couple minutes it would go to different scenes. This is a trivia question for you. What was the one thing that we never did on the cruise ship that we thought we would do, but we never did it?
Aqueduct.
Darn it. Yes, we never did the aqueduct. I have no idea why.
Well,
I think at times it was too cold or it was too windy.
They do have a weight limit, and with
that's not the reason.
With our added weight,
we
probably would have got stuck.
We aren't fat. We just didn't go on it. So I think it was because of the weather, one, and then it was raining at one point, and it was windy, and we just never got around to it. But I really wanted to go on it. And
well, next cruise, our next group cruise, I'll be in Speedo shape, so we will be owning those.
Not wearing Speedos though, so and we don't know when we're gonna go on our next Dizney cruise, but if it's the Wonder, they're not going to have the aqueduct, so it'd have to be the Dream again because we still need the captain to sign our picture. And we actually did get our picture signed by the captain, which was the same captain from the Magic. And Derick came up with the ingenious idea of putting cardboard together with the picture inside and taping it around. And we carried it as our personal item on the plane the whole time and got it back all in one piece.
We're going to have to leave it in there until we get it done.
We have to do it one more time. For the Dream. Well, for the Dream.
Yeah.
Because those are the only, Wonder and the Dream. Well, the Wonder, if we go out of California, we could just drive it there. We don't have to use a plane. But the Dream, we have...
Tarek. I'm creating my own language. I'm doing Cargo and I have our own language.
We have to take it on the plane for Florida. Oh, Huh?
I was going to say, if we go out of San Diego, we would just fly into San Diego. This is the best way. The airport's right next to the port.
So what was it you asked me for? Like, so, I don't want to say profoundly, but it was so innocent the way he asked me. Like, it was really what it was.
I asked you for Ester C.
Yes. And I said, he goes, I need some Ester C. Get me some Ester C. And I said, what? He said, I need some Ester C. I mean, he was pronouncing it. And I said, do you mean emergency? Which are the tablets that you put in the water or the little granulated stuff you put in the water to give you vitamin C. And I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Ecstasy, you need some ecstasy," and he recorded me doing it that way, so you'll see that on the video. But I just thought, what is ecstasy?
It almost sounds like a drug or something like that.
Yeah, like ecstasy.
We Mary Ellen, when is your next non-Disney cruise? My son and I might stalk you. We are doing the
in September.
I think I had sent that information to you. We are doing the Royal Caribbean, the Symphony of the Seas. We're doing that out of Miami. So that's September 26th, I think, is when we go out of that one. So that should be fun.
Yep. There's still plenty of rooms for anyone that wants to go. We're just calling it a get-together cruise.
We have a few people going with us.
Yeah, we do. So,
but this is a cruise we wanted to do. So no matter how many people went, we are excited to go. Nathan's Boathouse. I always say that.
Nathan's Boat Reviews.
Welcome.
Oh, what else did we have done for the first time?
I was going to say the fish extenders.
No, well, that too. But
night, Bob and Ashley.
Have a good night, Bob and Ashley. Feel better. We actually had petties or pedicures.
Oh, petties.
Well, they call them manis and petties.
They petted her.
No.
Hi, Wendy Held. Welcome.
Hey, Wendy. We had pedicures, and it was this guy's bright idea to do it. And
because our theme of this cruise is the adult things you can do on a Disney cruise.
I'm not complaining. I mean, it was nice. We used the spa for the first time, and I actually paid $29 for a day at the spa when we were in Jamaica, because if you did it when you're at sea, they would charge you the full price. So either you buy it at the beginning, which was $129, I think, for one person, or you just do a day pass. Because if you do it and you have to be docked, if you do it any other day that you're not docked, they're going to charge you the full price, which I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I used the spa, but when we did the pedicure, we did the fire and ice pedicure. So you're in there longer. They soak your feet, they clean them and everything. And then they got out the cheese grater, which was a real cheese grater or zester, like you zest on oranges. And Derick thought, "Oh, you're going to have more." They call it cheese.
I think she just did me better than you.
No, they said he thought you're going to have more cheese than me. And they're like going like this onto Derick's feet.
They were hilarious. They were both from Jamaica.
Yeah, and they're all, "Look at how much cheese is on here." And it was from his feet. And they
she had everyone else in there too laughing.
Yes, they said, "Oh, we just use it as Parmesan cheese. We put it in the back for later. Yeah. Nobody knows the difference."
She says we save it for the night and we just get crackers and we
That's disgusting. Then they did my feet and there was barely anything.
I don't think she did you right.
She did my feet just fine.
I don't think so.
And then she uses buffer thing on my nails, and which I never had done before, and they were like really shiny and everything. And she said, "See, I didn't even have to use any whatever you call it, gloss or something," which I don't know what they put on there, but some kind of a coating. And my feet were nice and clean, while they had like a full thing of cheese from Derick's feet on there.
Apparently, I served meal for the next few days.
You're sick. That's gross. You're grossing out Disney nerd herders.
Mary Ellen, yeah, it was on a Disney ship. We decided to do pedicures. Pedicures.
And so they clean all the way up to like your knee. They clean your leg all the way up to your knee, and they put this hot stuff on it, which is supposed to be fire. And then they or no, it was those hot rocks. They warm up these rocks and they rub them up and down your feet and your legs, and it's supposed to relax your feet and your legs. And then they put a colder thing on, which is the ice. And when it was the heat, they put the towel over it, and it builds up the heat and everything. But it was cool to do it. I mean, I think I would do more than that next time if I had the money. But they what? They had like a full spa.
I was just thinking of the moments, and it was just hilarious.
They had like a full spa service, like with massage and a facial cleansing and a facial massage and head massage.
They
and
know
everything.
how to they know how to work it though.
Yeah, well, but they had that deal when they were in Jamaica, I think, or one of the ports where it was like a good price for all these different things. So,
Mary Ellen, I'll send it to you from Facebook Messenger. What? That popped up.
all their comments.
Sorry, guys.
Grossing everybody out.
Sorry.
Well, now you know how dirty Derick's feet were.
No.
Mine are as clean as pie.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
We also did, making a nice segue away from that.
When you're making Wendy vomit.
We did the fish extender.
That was fun too.
Yeah, so you can do it a lot of different ways. We decided to do ours over a period of days because Greg had wanted to do it.
It was on the ship.
He wanted to do it all at once. So what a fish extender is, I left it actually in. Do you want to get it real quick? It's in that bag, or I'll get it. So you explain what the fish extender is.
So a fish extender is that every door has like it's like a plaque of a fish. Excuse me. Or on some floors they had like a seahorse, but it's still called a fish extender, not a seahorse extender. And you hang up your fish extender. They make them really nice, you know, Disney looking and everything. And they have little pockets like this, and you put in little gifts in there. So that's a pocket here. That's a pocket here. And you could do it by day or all together. We got little gifts throughout the day, and then we gave out little gifts every other day. So that was fun. We've never done that before. So
some of the things they do give, one of the things that's cool is not all the ships are the same, but for the Disney ships, you put your key card into the slot and it keeps all the power going in it. So,
oh yeah, they gave us those.
Yeah, so when you leave the room and you take your card out, then everything powers down inside the room.
Well, the lights stayed on for a while, but then the TV shut off.
But once you shut the door, it turned everything off. So it lets the system know that to save energy, to turn the lights off.
I think it stayed on because we were like I think I was inside and you took the thing out and closed the door and the lights were still on. They closed. They shut off over time.
Yeah, it will. So someone gave us, both of us, Star Wars Day at Sea's cards.
Yeah, and they had little magnets on them, and you just put them on.
Put them on the wall right next to it when you weren't, and that was a really cool idea. There was just some. I can't even think of all the different gifts that they got. Some of them were as simple as a little plastic file that said to put all your mementos in. So like, maybe a special picture or something in there, which I thought was a really cool idea. So they didn't always have to be like an elaborate thing, expensive stuff. But just some fun little things that you can do on there. We gave little flashlights with the Disney cruise on it. And it was good. Now like I said, we decided to do it over a period of days because it's always nice. If we were to do that, the fish extender, there's like no reason in my mind to keep it up all the time. But it's kind of cool when you get into your room. Oh, did I get a little gift today? So that was one of the reasons why we decided to spread it out. Oh God.
And we have our magnets up on our door inside and outside and in the room too. So
Mary Ellen, if you look at pricing for a 7-night cruise, depending when you go, a Disney cruise, and Disney World, if you stay on property, the cost for a Disney cruise would be cheaper than if you stayed 7 nights in like the moderate priced hotels, like the Port Orleans Riverside. It would be less expensive to stay a week on a Disney cruise than it would on property. So when you put it into that perspective, because either way, it's going to be expensive. But when we were figuring it out, that's probably what it would be equivalent. And then you figure the food is included in it. When you go to Walt Disney World, you have to add that added cost daily for that. So that will save you some money too. So all in all, I think it's cheaper to go. We'll compare it to a moderate price hotel if that's where you stay. That's what a Disney cruise would cost. When I was in November, The key card was not in the slot, and the lights worked except for the bathroom lights. Which one were you in, Nathan? Was it the older one, like the Magic or the Wonder? Because we went on the Dream and the Fantasy and the Magic, and I believe the Magic was like that. So I think on the newer ships, which were the Dream and the Fantasy, they changed that, but I could be wrong.
Maybe Caro can make a little Explorer extender for you. It was pretty low, so I think he could pretty much reach it and everything.
Yeah, so those are just some of the fun things that you can do on a Disney cruise.
We did, I don't know if you guys noticed, but people put these little ducks around with little notes on them.
There's a Facebook page that is for that.
And I thought I found one on the staircase. I thought someone had left their toy, and I said, "What is this?" And I picked it up, and it had a little note, and it said you could either keep it or you can give it to somebody else. And you can also take a picture and post it. So that's what I'm going to do. But we never found one of those before. And it was like it was a duck that looked like a robot. So I guess it was kind of supposed to be Star Wars themed looking, but it was pretty cool.
Well, it was a Disney fantasy. Interesting. I wonder if they do it for different staterooms. We were on deck 85 or 85. Wow, that would be a massive ship. The biggest ship in the world.
That's wow. That's like way up in the sky.
Oh, Wendy says she hides ducks. She hides ducks whenever she goes on a cruise. I think on the next one we'll start looking at doing something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a D&G Explorer character.
Was there anything else that we're missing, or do you think we got everything?
We covered it. Any other questions out there for you folks out there that might be wondering about our cruise?
We did do the open house in the kids area and the adults area. The kids have a lot of fun stuff. I'm jealous of what they have. They have video games and squishy things you can walk on the floor, and like the colors move all over the place and everything. They have a nursery area, which is really nice for the babies and newborns if parents want to get away and have time with themselves, like with each other. Then they'll leave their kids there, or whatever age group they are. They leave them in the ocean. What is it called? The Oceaneers Club or the Vibe Club, which is teenagers. So there's a lot of fun things. They have karaoke for adults. They have a lot of bars. They did have that one lady, I forgot her name. She was Elphaba in Wicked at one point.
Debbie Vivino?
I think so. And they wanted her to be in Cats, and she said that she was only going to do that if she was able to be on the Fantasy and do shows on the Fantasy as well. So she did that, and she took the Frozen song and reworded it. So they have these puzzles I'm sure you've seen where they have sentences and it says pick a verb, pick a noun, pick an adjective. So she was asking the audience to pick different words, and it had to be clean, of course, but one word was toilet, but she would sing Let It Go with the words, and then she would plug in those different words that people gave to her when it was time to put a noun, verb, or adjective, and everybody was laughing hysterically because it was so funny. But she sang it like a regular song, and she gave it her all. What?
Cargo. Was it in reply to something that you said?
You could walk on the floor. Can't you walk on the floor? No, there was a floor in the Oceaneers Club, or I think it was the babies area, I think, and you walk on the floor, and the colors change. They're like squares, and they look like oil blots that move around. It was really cool. But yes, you can walk on the floors, Cargo.
Your mom's asking if they've heard if there was any damage on it at the Disney. No, I don't think there was much damage done from what I heard.
They had everybody evacuate, but I haven't heard anything since. It'll probably be hush hush unless you really look for it. But I think
Nathan said it was on the Fantasy that they were on. That's interesting. I was going to say something else. Danny was asking about our vlogs. So we are currently still releasing our NCL Escape vlogs, which I need to get my act together and get those done.
I thought you were going to say something else.
And then shortly after that, we will jump right into the Disney Star Wars Day at Sea ones, because I know a lot of people want to see that. This is our newest edition.
So this is the new statue from the Disney Fantasy. It is Minnie, and she's like in the Hollywood-looking clothes. So it's supposed to be like very fashionable and lavish looking on the ship, the Fantasy. So this is our new edition, and we saw Ariel there from the Wonder, but we thought, well, we should wait, because if we go on the Wonder, hopefully they have them, and if they don't, then eventually we'll just have to buy one at some point.
Yeah.
But so we're really excited that we got that, and we had a lot of fun. We took a lot of pictures, made friends, and just a lot of memories and fun.
So one of the things that I put in there was, this the best cruise ever? So was this your best cruise ever? Best cruise ever?
Considering everything, as well, I can't say aside from Castaway Cay, because the Dream had the same thing. It got rained out. We got rained out on this. I would say yes, that this is the best cruise ever so far, just because the experiences and us going together and having experiences there together and meeting new people, making new friends, and just having awesome dinner mates that we had and so much in common with people. I think this is probably one of the best cruises aside from the Disney Dream as well. So both of those, I think, there's just nothing like Disney, and you can't get better than Disney.
Mary Ellen, you're right. But I'm a lot better than I was yesterday, so I think I'm getting over it.
I didn't get sick this time.
I know.
I'm sorry that you got sick.
Yeah, I was fine.
But at least you got to taste your food.
Yeah,
I got to taste my food too.
It was weird
so.
what I had. I never felt really bad. I just had a sore throat, and then I had congestion coming in.
Well, do you think this was the best cruise?
So that is a question, because I will say this is my favorite Disney cruise.
That wasn't the question.
This is my favorite Disney cruise.
That's not the question. The question
ever.
is this your best cruise ever, is what you asked me. So you have to ask yourself that same question.
I would say no.
Which it sounds like it was going to be no anyway. So what is your best cruise ever?
The best cruise ever was an NCL Escape. That was my favorite one. Just a lot of memories going with my mom.
Well, there's a lot of memories on every cruise.
Yes, but spending time with her on that, the way we were treated was insane. I mean, we didn't expect that on any cruise.
But even if we weren't treated that way,
it would
still be a nice
very
cruise.
Good. And that was my favorite cruise. That's going to be tough to beat. But this is my favorite Disney cruise, even better than the Dream. Even though we love the Dream, that was our first experience, but we do love the bigger ships.
Yeah.
I think we both agree on that.
I can't say that it's better than the Dream, just because the Dream was our first Disney cruise together or ever. And there's just certain feelings and experiences with that one that you didn't get with this one, but you got new ones. So it was the same feelings, but not. Whenever you go on a Disney ship, you get emotional. You got emotional, definitely. I broke a little bit and got emotional. And I don't get that way with any other cruise.
I got emotional twice on this one. And my fear coming onto this, we went on 2 Disney cruises, then we went on 2 NCL cruises, and I was wondering, when we went on the NCL ones, I was wondering if I was going to like them as much as Disney. After going on the 2 NCL ones, I was worried if I was going to like the Disney cruise as much as I did the NCL, because NCL offer things different than what the Disney cruise offer. We were walking down the hallway on the first day, and it's a long corridor, because we were going to I don't know why we were walking to the Animators Pal. I think we're trying to get reservations or something. And just the detail that Disney puts in their ships, like looking at the columns that go up, the curtains, the little tiny details. I start getting emotional. I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I'm getting this. But it's kind of just like the magic and the detail that they put into it that you don't always appreciate. That the other cruise ships are nice, but they don't have that little the detail. And then the second time I got emotional is when I was looking at when you're in Chichen Itza. I said this is one of the places I wanted to see. You're in the mode where you're listening to the travel guide. You're worried, you're going here, you're going there. On the bus ride home, we had a 2-hour, basically, people could rest. I was looking at the videos and I started getting teary-eyed again, just because I realized what I had just witnessed. So 2 emotional moments for me on this cruise. I think you have those in almost any cruise, but
I actually had 2 also, but for different reasons.
yeah. So we those
That would be fun,
was-
Mariel and Shaw, if we did that.
and Derek's mom, my dad always called mom. But
I
all right.
think that's all.
That's it, guys. Thank you
we
so much for
have
staying with us. Long show
for
tonight.
recapping. But yeah, thank you for being with
My
us.
voice held out.
Yep. Now you need some hot honey lemon tea.
Next week we are planning to have Mouse Talk onto our show. I'm as
For our Disney
at least
show.
we had that before we went on the cruise, so I think we're still in line to have them on our show next week. So we look forward to them on our show, and I think that's about it. So thank you, everyone. If
Yes,
you
thank
don't
you.
remember our names, I'm Derick,
And I'm Gregory, but how could you forget our names?
and or I'm Little Explorer.
I'm Big Explorer.
And as Walt Disney once said, we are just getting started.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice night.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much again.
Dilly dilly.